Hi, this is Landon again, and I'm back with some guitar lessons. Today we're going to talk about the number theory. If you haven't seen the major, pentatonic, major scale, minor scale videos, I would encourage you to go watch those. But I'm going to talk about numbers. And first of all, let's talk about why it's important, I think, to learn the number theory. Number theory is easy from a perspective of when you're playing in a band to transpose songs. Now, a lot of times when you're doing solos or whatnot, it's a pattern and you just shift your hand up and down the neck and do the same pattern. But when you're doing chords and chord progressions, it's easier if you know it by number than try to do the math or equate, hey, what's a G if I'm playing in the key of a B flat, what's a G minor equivalent to in the key of D sharp, something like that, or an E flat. So instead of trying to figure out what is the equivalent, the numbers kind of help make that easier. Also, numbers help you learn by ear. It's a lot easier to learn what a one chord sounds like, what that resonating, resounding chord sounds like, that resolving chord sounds like, that one, than it is to try to find out, hey, what does a B flat sound like versus what's a G and the A flat, and do it by note, each chord, each minor chord, each major chord, by simple letter. You can do it by position in a scale. And so therefore, to help you play by ear, to help you transpose, to help you, even if you're in the band and communication-wise, it's easier instead of trying to mouth G or B or D or C or E, which all, when you're looking at somebody saying it, look the same and it's hard to tell what you're talking about. You can just simply say, play the 1, the 4, the 5, the 2, the 6, whatever. So let's talk about what that means real quick. Let's use the G major scale as we've been doing for simplicity's sake. So G major scale, again, is G. Let me turn on my volume here. Sorry about that. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and back to G. So numbers is simply counting those out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and back to 1 or 8. Okay? Now, I'm going to keep it simple today, so we're not going to go into deep of talking about what happens after 8. We're just going to stay with 1 through 8. So when I'm playing those numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, that helps me. That's the major scale, that's the numbers. Another benefit of the number theory that I didn't mention, that I meant to, is that it helps you understand how to build chords as well. So, for instance, a major chord, right, is a combination of the notes of 1, 3, and 5 of that major scale. So if you're playing a G chord, other than the fact that you memorize that that's a G chord, why does that sound like a G chord? Why does it sound good? Why do those notes make sense? Well, because that is comprised of a G, which is the 1, the B, which is the 3, and it has D, which is the 5. Okay? 1, 3, 5. So that is why when it makes up a major chord. Now, those 3 notes, and you can use different combinations of those notes to make up a G major chord. You can also, because you know the fact that now a major chord is a 1, 3, 5 of the scale, major scale, you can, if you don't know a chord, you can now go and try to find a way to make those 3 notes work so that you can build the chord. So it helps in that fashion. It also helps with soloing, it helps with transposing, like I was saying. Now let's talk about chord progression. So if I was saying I'm playing in the key of G, and I want to play a chord progression, which means a series of chords, and I want to play a 6 minor, 4, 1, 5 chord progression. That's a common chord progression used in lots of songs. Break Every Chain and other songs like that. So how would I go about knowing what that means? So first of all, we got to find that position in the scale. So we're playing in the key of G. So I said 6. What's 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. E, right? So we're going to play E minor 7 first. Then I said the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, okay? So we're going to play an E minor 7 to a C. Then I said we're going to play a 1. So 1 we know right off the bat where we started, which is a G. And then the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, D. So if I'm playing that 6, 4, 1, 5 chord progression, it's E minor 7, C, G, D. Now again, if you haven't seen the basic chords videos for the key of G, that explains what chords I'm playing there, and I would recommend that you go watch that video. But so with those chords, that's break every chain. There's power in the name of Jesus. So that's the 6, 4, 1, 5 chord progression. So that's how the number 3 basically works. There's some more advanced ways that it works, but I challenge you to implement that and learn it and grasp it, because it will help you learn to play it by ear. And definitely when you get in a band setting, it's going to help you adapt. It's a lot easier to say, hey, you know, what are you playing, the 6, 5, 4, you know, or are you trying to figure out every note and every chord? It's a lot easier to do it by numbers. Again, that's my opinion, but I know a lot of musicians that are professionals at what they do. I'm not a professional. I do it because I love doing it and I play at church and stuff, but I know professionals that use this and they totally recommend it and live by it. So I wanted you to have that extra knowledge. So thank you very much for the video, and I'll see you later.